Hello again. Welcome to Jackrabbit Journal. Tom Nieman along with Hank McCall. That was pretty cool.
Indeed it was.
Jacks go to Kansas. They get a win. Kansas, not the best team in the FBS by any means, not the worst team. And the bottom line is the Jacks get the win. That's the big thing.
Absolutely. A big win for this program at this point in the season. Start the season off with a win is huge against a Big 12 opponent. First time SDSU has been able to do that. This is a game that the players, the coaches, everybody, the training staff, everybody involved, they'll certainly remember that day and that win, no doubt about it. On the other hand, there's still, as great of a win as it is, and as much as it gets them out on the right foot, there's still plenty of work for this team to do in order to get better moving forward.
All right, here's the quick recap. Zach Lujan throws for 293 yards, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, and 2 of those go to Jake Wieneke. Wieneke was fabulous again, 8 catches, 160 yards, picking right up where he left off last year. The Jacks build a 31-7 lead in the first half, but Kansas scores on the first 2 drives of the second half. They come back, make it a 3-point game at 31-28. Kansas did rack up 576 yards of offense, but the Jacks never give up the lead. They convert on a 4th and 5 late in the fourth quarter to keep the drive going, capped off by a touchdown run by Isaac Wallace. He is impressive in his SDSU debut, 118 yards on 24 carries for Wallace, and the Jacks win it 41-38. It's the first SDSU win ever against an FBS team, and if nothing else, Hank, that's going to look good come playoff time if the Jacks are in the hunt to the FCS committee to beat an FBS team.
It certainly does, and I think sometimes folks forget that the committee takes all the entire season, the entire body of work into consideration when looking at these at-large bids. So we got a lot of games to play yet here this year, but that certainly doesn't hurt these guys' cause towards the end of the season.
All right, Jacks are 1-0. We'll take you to Stig's office for the big plays of the first half when we come back.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to Jackrabbit Journal. The Jacks are 1-0. They beat Kansas in the season opener. And Hank, you wanted to see what the Jackrabbit offense was going to be capable of this year. What did you think about the first performance?
I thought that these guys came out pretty sharp, actually. They did a good job of executing early on in the game. I thought the offensive line, specifically in the run game, was exceptional throughout the game. In the second half, there were some missed opportunities for this group that they're going to take a look at on film and say, hey, had we made this play there or made that throw there, this one could have been a heck of a lot different.
All right, let's go to Stig's office for the first half. And he told us about a month ago that he doesn't like games with a lot of scoring. But what about this one, Coach? I'm guessing you're okay with this one, though.
I'm okay with this one, but that was stressful. And I'm okay if it's 41-14 our favor, but that I get a little harried at the end.
All right, let's get into it here. And just a thought on Kansas going into this game. New coach, new energy. What were they like?
Well, the coach is a very classy guy. I respect him. Really a treat to visit with him. I thought their players played very hard with great energy. We just started off on a great foot. You know, I mean, normally that's a 6-yard pass, and we're fine with that. It ends up being a 60-yard pass because of who's catching the ball.
Yeah, we were wondering what Wieneke would come up with in this new season. He seemed to be just fine with 8 catches. He did step out at the 13-yard line there. And you get a Jay Carlson field goal out of this drive.
Yeah, and in a way, there's a real positive of that because that is Jay's first points he scored. And to get the butterflies out and an easy field goal, that was big because it's going to pay off. He's going to get another one late in the game here.
Kansas spread offense, and this was tough to run a defense against, wasn't it?
It was tough. They're skilled. You got to have a bunch of one-on-one matchups when you're doing this. And then, unfortunately, our guys got real tired. You know, you'll see us just tackle poorly. Great play by Dallas Brown here. He guessed a little bit there. Really got a negative on technique when we graded him. But obviously made a huge play in the football game. And he's made some of those. He's got a knack for feeling things out in the football field.
All right, first pick of the year to Brown. He takes it back 53 yards and takes you 2 plays to score here. Great run by Brady Mangarelli.
Yeah, this is one of our premier plays of the game, one of our difference makers, because not only does he score, he sets the tone. He gets everybody energized the way that play works. We want to be able to run the football, so a lot of positives with a play like that for the Jackrabbits.
Next kickoff, though, goes back for 6 the other way.
This is terrible. This is terrible. The ball is kicked right where it needs to be. It was against the wind. We lose leverage. We block ourselves in a bunch of situations. We tell Jay Carlson to tackle the guy. He's not going to tackle the guy in the open field, a Big 12 player. And so that was really bad. And our guys knew it. It was just, bad football.
All right, 10-7. Jack's still in the lead. Come back with a 75-yard drive here. That's a great throw from Lujan to Winicky.
Well, the point you made, though, the long drives we had were tremendous. Because, again, we're not playing a lesser team. We're playing a Big 12 team. And so to have long drives, complete the pass, those are tremendous positives.
Getting some pressure on the quarterback here on a big third down to get the ball back.
Good job. We don't play that coverage much, but we played it really well there. And Nick Mears had a good game. And I thought he might get his hands on the ball during the play as I watched it, but really good play.
All right, start of the second quarter here, up 17-7. Isaac Wallace spinning down to the KU 16-yard line, and then the next throw here is Lujan to Winicky on an unbelievable touchdown catch.
Yeah, we're getting spoiled with the plays Jake Winicky makes, and I say if you get it within 10 yards of him, he's going to catch it. And you watch this keeping his feet in. Coach Beatty said at the start of the game, before the game started, he said he'd have played in the SEC. Jake. Now, he didn't know the kid, but he knows skill and just a special player. 8
catches, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns in the game for Winicky. Jack's up 24-7. KU on its next drive here, and Jesse Bobbitt comes up with the fumble recovery.
Yeah, and again, Nick Mears comes all the way across the field. It's an effort play, forces the fumble. Those are huge in a football game. We are +2 turnover ratio. We only had 3 penalties. So I'd credit some discipline to this win also, not just the 41 points.
Another 2-play drive to score here. A little swing to Brady Mingarelli.
Brady's a benefit of great blocking. You see guys cutting people, leveraging people. He makes one guy miss. That's what's supposed to happen. You don't want 5 guys free. So really a great offensive execution there in that football play.
Yeah, Lauscher and Raymond and Wesley all with great blocks on that touchdown. 31-7, you've got the lead. KU goes really quick on this offensive drive. They go 16 plays in just 5 minutes, and they're going to score on a reverse here after this play.
Yeah, and the speed. This is what really hurt us in the football game. Him scrambling. You'll see that a bunch in this game. But and then their back skill also. But this should be defended. We're in a pass rush. Our defensive end on our left side should go as deep as the quarterback. Should have hit that right in the mouth. And everybody's got to do their job, and we didn't do it there.
All right, all in all, though, up 31-14 at half, Coach. And in the ballgame, you're 4 for 4 in the red zone, getting points, turning turnovers into points in that first half.
Well, it was a really good first half in a lot of ways. Our defense played really well. We gave up, there's a mistake on that one, and then a kickoff return. And so we went into the locker room feeling good. But, you talk about the speed at which they go up the field, and it sounds bad. That's the deal. That's Oregon's deal. That's everybody's deal. And you just have to be able to cope with that and get the call and make a play.
Will you see some of that coming up in the Valley once you get against some of the Valley teams, that quick offense?
Yeah, we'll see a few of those. As I understand, Missouri State's doing that full bore. Now, not everybody does it. We have a little bit up-tempo stuff. We've handled it well. We just got to make plays, do our job and make plays.
Well, Jackrabbits 291 yards of offense in the first half, averaged 8.5 yards per play. Already ahead in the turnover game with the 2 takeaways, 2 touchdowns for Winicky, 2 for Mingarelli, and 31-14 at the half. And we'll be back with the second half with Coach Stiegelmeier.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. Seems like more and more college football teams, Hank, want to run a fast offense, no huddle, just get up there and run play after play after play. Kansas did it in this game. How is it changing how Jackrabbit defense has to play?
Well, first and foremost, it makes you think a heck of a lot faster on the field. You've got to be prepared coming in to understand that, hey, this is the call. We're not going to be getting into a huddle to discuss it or anything like that. We've got to communicate on the field once we get the call and be able to get ourselves aligned in position to go do our jobs. It was obvious, sure, Kansas was moving at a good pace, but it wasn't lightning speed. But this is game 1. These guys aren't in game shape yet. It's going to take some time for that. So I expected to see the guys a little tired late in this one.
All right, Kansas worked it well, that fast offense, especially early in the second half. Here's Coach Stig.
Had they not had those 2 series at the start of this second half, it would have been a whole different football game. But they got us on our heels, and we never got off our heels.
They come out, as you said, right here to begin the second half, and This is their first drive. They go 9 plays in 2.5 minutes. That's a lot of plays crammed into 2.5 minutes. Down to the 5-yard line here, and then they're going to get a touchdown run after this.
We got to play better off our defense there. We've got to put our head in the gap and make it tougher than that. Of course, when we're on offense, we want that same result. So, but we could have been better there.
All right, it's 31-21. Jack's still in the lead. This is KU's next drive, though. They go 6 plays in 1:15, and a big play here down to the 46-yard line, and then they're really going to spread it out and go right up the middle to score the touchdown.
Yeah, good skill. And that's not our forte. We want to corral the ball. That kid got up the field, and same thing here. The running back has a crease. We're not going to tackle him in the open field. He was, I think, the National Junior College Player of the Year last year, so good football player.
Yeah, Kenner had a really good game for Kansas. So it's 31-28 here early in the third quarter, and then they get the football right back again, but some good pressure here from Benaziak and Langer and Sulik and Plody on the defensive line.
Yeah, we didn't sack him, but we did get some pressure on him, and you needed to keep him in the pocket because sometimes we got pressure. He escaped, and he got a bunch of yards scrambling with the ball.
All right, get the ball back here. Another drive for a field goal. Starts with Isaac Wallace, Taylor Bloom, and Onis Sorgi on the offensive line with some good blocks there.
I thought our offensive line did a tremendous job. There's a bonehead error there by one of our guards, but you never hit a guy, you never block a guy behind the ball. There's nothing to accomplish with that. It's kind of a tough guy mentality, and it ends up hurting you.
All right, drive keeps going. The 4th and 6 here, and Lujan to Winicky for a first down. Nice to know you can go to a guy like that.
Yeah, it is, and we debated and ended up going for it, and a big play, and again, Jake's a big playmaker.
3rd and 1 here, and Langer and Schultz in there. Some of your defensive linemen in the backfield to block. What do you call that formation?
Heavy. We call it, the personnel is lying. It's heavy personnel. And again, we stall. All these opportunities, 4 points here, 3 points, they all matter. But again, Jade got in a kick out, and that's the difference in the football game right there. So big points for us.
All right, get points, as you said, 34-28. Jackson the lead by 6 going to the fourth quarter. This is their running back. Kewan Kenner had 27 carries, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good player.
He is a great player, and we are tired right now. And there's nothing, not to take away from him, but we are tired. Big play here by a true freshman, Shaq Taylor. Really like what he's doing now to play. That's his first game, Big 12 opponent, so he's got confidence and he's worked really hard to be a good DB. This may be the play of the game right here. Keeping him out of the end zone, keeping him to a field goal. Because, again, they score a touchdown. That's 4 points more. It's a whole different football game. Big play by Nick Farina.
Farina stepping in as the starter this year, one of the safeties, and hold up to a field goal. And then you go on another 10-play, 75-yard drive. You got Wallace here. He ran it 6 times on this drive, and you kind of rode him in the second half.
We did. Brady had a minor injury, and so we took him out. We wanted to not get him beat up, but Isaac's a good football player, and he will get it done.
Play of the game here?
It may be. Yeah, for us it may be. Lujan to Goddard, it was a 4th down play, and he is a skilled tight end, so he's going to make those plays quite often. I'm excited about his ability.
Pick up the first down, and then Wallace, touchdown run against behind the heavy package again. Langer and Schultz in there to block, and you get it in the end zone.
Yeah, really somewhat untouched. Really good job of blocking by our fat guys, the defensive guys in the backfield, and that's going to be part of our mentality, line up in that.
10-point Jacks lead, not over yet though. Kenner on another drive for the Jayhawks down to the 11, and then they put a big, tall receiver in the left slot here to get a touchdown.
Yeah, a bit of a mismatch in terms of height here. Nick can do a better job on the cut in the end zone here of closing the distance and go battle with him. He kind of stumbles there. And give him credit. Good decision by them, and Nick will make that play. He'll make it more often than not.
So it's 41-38. Jacks in the lead. Kansas burns a couple of timeouts. You take 1:45 off. They get the ball back here, though, with 39 seconds left. Complete a pass to the 33-yard line, and then describe the end of the football game.
Well, just, they're supposed to kill the clock, and we're supposed to get back. If they're going to kill the clock, we just want to make sure they don't throw a Hail Mary. Their quarterback fumbles the ball on the snap, and so when he goes down on his knee, it's a running play. Essentially, the clock should run. They restarted it. It should have been over even earlier. But that happens in football, and I maintain we play hard and good things happen. We played hard and had fun feeling at the end of the game.
And as you said, your team was exhausted. I'm sure your coaching staff was exhausted, but some good exhaustion at the end of this game.
Oh, great exhaustion, great energy, when you win the football game. But I tell you what, I'm watching film of this game Sunday morning, and I'm watching 10 plays into the second half, and we are spent. We are spent. So that weather had an effect on us. The number of guys we played had an effect on us. We need to adjust to that.
All right. As you said, you played clean, not a lot of penalties, no turnovers. Can you play better than this, though, coming up on Saturday?
We have to, and we can. And again, not to take anything away from Kansas. I think they're going to get it done there. But our guys came up to us at the end of the game, celebrating the FBS win, but saying they were saying we can play better, Coach.
And there were some that were disparaging a win because it was only Kansas. You kept hearing that. This is a Big 12 team. They weren't that horrible. This is a good win, isn't it?
This is a huge win. This is a historical point in our move to FCS football. You take the percentages, take all these games through the year and see what the percentage is of an FCS beating FBS. I'm proud of our football team.
Up next, we will go to the board, the whiteboard, and Stig will break down that big, huge key fourth down conversion in the fourth quarter by the Jacks.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. We're going to call this Let's Go to the Board. We're going to break down one big play during the game. And this is on the Jacks' last scoring drive. They're getting to a 4th and 5 situation at the Kansas 29-yard line. It would be a 46-yard field goal into the win, so they decide to go for it. Now you got Winicky lined up over here on the right side. They've already gone to him once in the ball game to get a fourth down conversion, but they pretty much take him out here. Dallas Goedert is lined up on the left side. Connor Landberg split left. If you're the Kansas defense, what do you see here that the Jacks are going to try to do?
Well, I think the first thing that you absolutely have to see is Jake Winicky, the All-American wide receiver on the edge there. And that's you can see it on the tape. They take him away with the corner right in his face and a safety over the top. And they had been doing that for the majority of the second half, trying to take him out of the game. And so from Luan's perspective, he comes up to the line of scrimmage. He sees that just as he had all afternoon. And so he says, all right, I've got one-on-one situations on the left side of the field. Which guy am I going to go to? Based on my route structure, I know I'm having a 5-yard out here by Landberg, and now the corner is right in his face. So that's pretty much gone, just like Coach Stig mentions. So here's my matchup: Goedert versus the safety who's playing 6 to 8 yards off the ball. So I know Goddard's going to get a free release up the field to the corner. It's up to me to put the ball on the money, and hopefully the big man can go up and make a play.
Plays out just like that. Here is Coach Stig to break down this play.
It's fourth down, and they play a lot of man-to-man, so we called ace formation, 12 personnel, and just bunched it up. So they should be thinking we're going to run crossing routes. And what Coach Eidsness called is just it should be an out by the wide receiver and then a corner by the tight end on both sides, and then you just pick which guy you want to try to throw to. Crossing routes would have been better because we'd have been rubbed those guys off, but in this case, he threw it up to Dallas and made a big play.
So Zach Lujan has not decided before the snap where the ball's going.
No, he doesn't know. He knows the safeties, he knows their personality, but he doesn't know. If the corner sloughs off, he throws to Connor in the flat on that play if it's zone defense. So we knew they would probably be in man, but we weren't sure.
All right, corner stays up, forces Landberg to the sideline there, and then Lujan puts it right where it had to be, didn't he?
Yeah, and then Dallas goes up, keeps his feet in. Really, Connor is wrong there by converting his out to the sideline because he gets in the way of Goddard's route.
Yeah, it turns into a pretty tight window, but it all works out in the end, right?
Well, Dallas is a skilled guy. He's a little bit like Jake. He's long, he can jump. Really good play. Now, the big thing here is Lujan made a decision and threw the ball, right? When you run into problems is when you hold the ball too long. Dallas, one more step, Dallas is out of bounds.
And Zach had a guy breathing down his left ear hole when he let go of the football
also.
too, right?
Yeah.
All right, the Jacks' home opener is Saturday, taking on Southern Utah. We take a look at the matchup against the Thunderbirds and Stig on Zach Zenner making the Detroit Lions roster next.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dakota Land Honda.
South Dakota State will host Southern Utah this Saturday, the football home opener. A chance, if nothing else, to see the progress on the stadium construction at Coughlin Alumni, which will be nice. Southern Utah plays in the Big Sky Conference. SDSU beat the Thunderbirds 26-6 last year in Utah. They have a senior quarterback back, but the Jacks held him to 94 yards and no touchdowns last year. But it sounds like they want to pick up the pace on offense this season.
Really aggressive, better on defense than they were last year, looks like. Very aggressive. They got a great defensive end that's going to put some pressure on us. Play a lot of man-to-man press, and then a lot of formations on offense. So again, you just can't find a team that lines up and runs power anymore. You just can't find that.
North Dakota State, by the way, one team that runs power that's pretty good in the country. Anyway, Utah State, a pretty good FBS team, beat Southern Utah 12-9 last Saturday. Southern Utah only ran 64 plays in that game, but they were 1 of 18 on third down. They didn't keep a lot of drives going. Concerns for the Jackrabbit defense this Saturday?
Well, I don't think that speed of the game is going to be a concern this week. They played against a very athletic team that ran a lot of plays last week. I think the big focus for these guys, this week is going to be with that front seven defensively. They got to win some more one-on-one matchups on the D-line, and then just some more consistent play out of the linebacking core.
All right, 2 more things this week. Zach Zenner is officially now a Detroit Lion. He made the final 53-man roster, and Coach Stig could not be more proud or more happy.
As a program, we are so excited for him and proud of him and excited to watch him on TV. And he is a picture of pursuing your dream, working hard, being focused. Yeah, I think there's a real lesson for a lot of us.
And finally this week, Stig will be barefoot on the sideline Saturday to support a charity called Samaritan's Feet that he is heavily involved in. You can make a donation at the gate or anytime to put a pair of shoes on a young person in Brookings or anywhere else in the country through Samaritan's Feet. We'll see you Saturday, and we'll see you next week on Jackrabbit Journal.